All right. So back to fireworks and what you were saying about open source, not just PyTorch, but open source models and how you at Fireworks have made this bet to, embrace open source AI models. Do you think that a lot of organizations, a lot of enterprises underestimate what's possible with open models?
I don't think it's about underestimation that much. It's just about not being familiar with with open models. I think, especially, I think um, I will put simplify this answer. There's two groups. There's AI native startups. There is enterprises. Obviously, enterprise has like digital natives and traditional enterprise and various different categories. But let's just take a look at these two groups. Their reactions different. AI native startups are they just want to try um, the best option, and they do not have any baggage. They're very very brave in testing open models. They're always very curious, and at the same time, there's a very interesting phenomenon that's also unique to AI, right? So, as you know, there are many companies, whether startups or incumbents, they're trying and experimenting with new user experiences that our day to day is interacting with. Um, and those kind of experiments has seen a lot of success in terms of product market fit. But product market fit doesn't at AI time doesn't mean a viable business. There could be a big TAM that people are willing to um, pay for the product, but the costs of running the business could be much higher than the revenue you get, and then people just cannot scale their business after hit the product market fit. And it's funny, literally, they're going to scale into bankruptcy. So obviously, startups are like have limited funding, and even including incumbents, they cannot. They have the distribution, and they have to be so careful. The CFOs have to be so careful in controlling the cost. So the kind of budget and this ROI totally makes sense. And because of that, they have to hold a lot of people on the waiting list and cannot open up the gate. So while the startup, going back to AI native startups, they are very brave in embracing open models. But part of the motivation is open models are they have a lot more control. They can customize however they want, but also at the same time, open models are much more economical because we as a provider we do not have pre-training costs, billions of dollar pre-training costs to amortize over, and we only focus on bringing the best quality, speed, and cost like from post-training, which is much cheaper, and inference customization of the deployment. So the unit of economics of fireworks operating open models is very different from frontier labs. So that's kind of where we see the AI native startups are very brave in adopting and going down the path of customization with open models. The second group of enterprises, obviously, they're much more careful because many of those are public companies, and they are under certain kind of obligation, especially their legal team, to understand what are the implications of using open models license, what are license limitation, just kind of trying to understand what is this beast. But I'm from my observation, the enterprise start to open up, and they start to understand much better. Oh, this model actually is not going to send data to other countries. It's just a model, and depend if the model provider is hosting the model in US, and then they can provide privacy and security around the ins and outs. So there, but anyway, there are other concerns, as in the kind of content generated, does that follow certain kind of guardrail and so on. So, but overall, I've seen the whole entire industry start to understand better and start to kind of understand the bounds of operating open models. And I only see an upper trend of embracing open models.